SchemeGuide Studios presents Playbook Showcase, the Face Melter Offense.
I first became aware of the Face Melter offense on Coach Huey's football coaching forum, and all these guys kept talking about the Face Melter offense and how it was the greatest offense ever existed. It's became like a total meme of the Face Melter is what you promise a athletic director that your offense is going to be. It's going to score all the points. It's going to sell all the tickets. Everyone's going to love it. It's going to play so fast and score so many points. The defense's faces are going to literally melt off. So I took this meme and I made it a Madden reality. I took all of the most gimmicky plays that I could, all the options, the jets, the motions, the funky formations, the QB runs, the wide receiver backfield formations, and I shoved them all together and based it roughly around the RVO offense that Jeff Grimes runs now at Baylor and used to run at BYU. But it's definitely going to be giving you try and overwhelm a defense. It's a run-heavy offense that is going to be high tempo and then is going to make the throws that are there with big shots. So it's very much a smash spread / RVO kind of feel on the offense. So let's dig into the playbook and take a look. First formation here is bunch strong offset. We have the read option, that bears QB sweep play, halfback slip screen, and flood. I really like that slip screen because the defense is going to be so worried about those receivers that oftentimes it will clear out with zone because it's 4 strong, and then you have that screen there that's just going to feast. That flood is pretty good, but the QB sweep is the main reason I carried that formation. Debo package, you need to use the right stick over twice, I think, to get it into 21 personnel, so it's kind of usable. They changed it this year, so it's base 30 personnel, which you can't audible into anything. It's pretty lame, but you have wide zone, read option. I don't really run the power read much, but if you're good with power read, inverted veer, then run that. The mesh spot is okay too, but it's fun to be able to get your number one receiver into the backfield. I love the Y lead read option. It's one of the better runs. Just in any version of that run, I feel is really good. You get that split kind of zone with the option on the back. I just think it plays really well, especially against one high. That's the main reason I have it. And then the other stuff that's in here is kind of just to give different options from what was in this formation. This is one of the newer formations in the game, and it's all right. Next is doubles offset. We have the zone and the jet. I might change that now. I've been doing testing with jet sweeps, and the ones that are jet fake zones, in even some of the ones that aren't labeled as such, but the action is the same, they tend to be the ones that just have an end unblocked that just will blow you up every single time for no reason. So duly noted. The Y sail's nice. It has levels on the backside. I like that a lot. RPO read bubble. I mean, it's triple option with the screen game there. That's a lot of fun. That's the main reason for this one. The PA bubble Y over from the Chip Kelly offense, switch from the run and shoot, and then another one of those halfback slip screens. Next, we have empty flex tray. This formation's really just here to support the next one. I don't really like the pass plays in empty quads, but I do like some of these pass plays, so this allows me to have that QB blast over there and do some stuff with 4 strong, but also have some just more general good empty pass plays. It's also 01 personnel, which is a very unusual group. People don't know how to really line up against it. They'll sometimes come out in nickel and sometimes in quarter. Empty quads, same thing. It's still 01 personnel. I mainly have this here for the QB blast. I will hit that wide receiver screen. I'm in a Hail Mary situation, I might use that 4 verticals, but otherwise I'm not going to touch it. This is one of my favorite like new formations in the game. You have the QB zone left, which is really good. You have the Saints power RPO, which I usually mainly just use it as a screenplay. And then you have the Saints verticals. So this is a nice 3-play little mini scheme, really. You could just run these 3 plays probably if you really wanted to. You just look at where the numbers are. If they have 2 over the receivers, then you are going to run the screen. And if they have 3 over the receivers in the stack, then you're going to run the ball. And if everyone's down low and they're run committing, then you're going to hit the vertical. Heavy Panther, it's kind of the same story. I love the QB blast. You also have mesh sit. I like this formation as well because people usually see it and they expect the QB blast, but we're going to be using it in 23 personnel as a whole little mini suite within our offense. There's 4 formations we have that are going to have this 23 personnel, and we're going to do a lot of different stuff with double wing principles to basically try and destroy the opponent. We'll get to the other formations here in a little bit. Normal Y off close. Again, you have the jet touch. You have the zone fake jet. I think both those should be fine. The PA jet sweep, play action, and then the mesh spot. And a lot of this is kind of that RVO feel where they really like having that jet motion on a lot of plays just to keep the defense honest. Even if they rarely run it, they will do the fake jet a lot. So I've included a lot of those fake jets throughout this playbook. Slot wide receiver backfield. I like this because it has a halfback in the slot and it has the wide receiver 1 in the backfield, and you can audible from this into your other formations. This is one here, it's 21 personnel. It's a pretty fun formation. You have off tackle, which is really good, inside zone, quick base, and slip screen. So you have a good amount of run game there. And between this and Debo, you can kind of utilize both if you use that right stick package I mentioned earlier. Split pro, offset weak, another 21. I like having this 21 package as well. I have read option. The X dig play is a fun one. And then you have a power and a slip screen there just to keep it mixed in. We're going to have a lot of these halfback slip screens because they're kind of short, consistent, fast hitters when you need something that's not a run and you need something safe. With how the passing game is right now and how interceptions and breakups are, that's probably for the best in my opinion. The read option is an interesting one. I mean, this whole formation is just an interesting look. You have that H back or that second back that's kind of in front of the quarterback a little bit, and it aligns funky, and people are going to look at it and not know how to deal with it, especially for the run. And then that brings us to the classic formation, spread Y flex weak. It's a great formation pretty much every year in Madden. RPO read bubble, really love that play, especially from the spread alignment. You have a halfback base, another slip screen, and double slants. Slants are pretty good this year, in my opinion. You need to take the time to lab them, and not let them just run across the whole field. But if you throw them on time and the way that the play is supposed to work, it's actually not that bad. Next is trio halfback weak. We got a speed option. We also have the RPO pin alert bubble. Love that too. You have the sprint rub flat, which is a nice little goal line play. It's kind of like what the Seahawks were trying to run at the goal line against the Patriots a few Super Bowls ago, several Super Bowls ago. And then you have that flood halfback flat, which is just, a great third down play. Gives you some good options down the field and then get that out. It's also a good 2-minute play. You have the read option here and the trips Y flex. I really like this formation for these 2 runs. The off tackle as well. You have a PA switch dig, really fun concept, really pretty good against a lot of different coverages. And then the high-low dig, which is great. Sometimes I will put that little route down there on a whip instead of that weird out that he's on. But sometimes that route's better. Mess around with it and find what you like best. Again, we have the jet in the zone. I may slightly tweak this moving forward just to remove that jet pass fake zone. We have the PA double post, and again, another switch play. Y off trips. My favorite gun run probably this year is that duo. I have the RPO in there just in case I need to, just to have it. But for me, it's really about duo. You have that RPO read Y flat. It's okay. It could have been better. And then the verticals Y option. Again, kind of similar to what we had earlier in the trio set. Then Y off trips weak. Again, that Y lead read option. I love it from trips because the defense has to show you, are they going to walk a DB over with that receiver to the trips? And if so, then this read option is going to be a really great play. So if you see that there is no overhang to the weak side, then you should be running the read option. If there is an overhang to that side, then start running that motion halfback swing. Ace close, fun formation. You have stretch. It is great. Good jet sweep, zone fake jet, and you have again the PA jet sweep. We're gonna have a lot of that jet series in a lot of different formations. Ace double wing, our other 23 personnel package. So like I said, there's a total of 4 formations. We're going to use the gun heavy panther, the goal line formation, the ace double wing, and then there's also strong jumbo. They all use the same personnel. So in this one, we're going to have the weak toss, we're going to have power, we're going to have counter. They used to have a stretch in this, but I don't think they do anymore. And then the TE corners play. There's a counter waggle play that you could use as well. Ace pairs, one of my favorite in this game. You have the 26 duo, you have halfback stretch, you have that TA attack play, which is another good third down play. You have the PA wide drag wheel, which is good against quarters and man. That's a really fun route if you have time for it. But a nice little boot out as well. You can keep it with the quarterback or, obviously throw it depending on how they play it. The bunch X nasty is one of the better wide zone formations. It also happens to have the jet sweep series that we've been running and some really interesting, PA off of that jet sweep. Tight Y off, we have halfback stretch, we have the zone fake, the actual jet, and then again, the fake jet. This one is with a Y leak, that same kind of boot out that we saw earlier. This time though, it's on this jet motion, and again, it's good versus man coverage and match. And again, we have wide zone, the whole same basic series, just now we're in tight Y off flex. Wing flex close, we have stretch, we have your zone fake jet, jet sweep, and PA jet sweep. And just to reiterate, these aren't the only plays we have in these formations. These are just what our base calls are going to be. We're going to be living in our audibles a lot, but there are other plays that aren't in our audibles, obviously. We'll get into some of those here in a little bit. Wing slot, we have 26 duo, we have halfback stretch, a jet sweep play, and then the PA wide drag wheel. This is a overloaded formation by the offense with 2 receivers on one side, 2 tight ends attached on the other side. So really what I like this for is running with the receivers into the boundary so you can get more room to run to the field. Strong eye close, we have stretch, halfback zone, end around, and zone toss. I really love this formation. It has some really good runs. The off tackle run and the halfback stretch are pretty similar. The aiming point's a little different, I think, between the two of them, but both of them are really good. You could put off tackle there instead of stretch, but this is a really good formation. You could also sub out the end around with some other pass, but for me, I really liked having that end around in the arsenal. And then jumbo completes our series of the 23 personnel. We also again have power O, we have an inside zone weak, halfback dive, and fullback dive. So we can really get the bat all anywhere we want to go between all those different formations with 3 different runners. Gives you a lot of different things you can do from that really ultimate, heavy, tight, kind of alignment. So now that we've gone through all the formations and the audibles, let's look at how I've rated some of the plays and for different situations. So first situation here is first down. We have lead, read option, duo, jet touch pass, read option, RPO, read bubbles, all stuff that I was raving about earlier. I've gone about rating plays in this and other playbooks differently over the years, and I've seen varying results. If you only want to have a small number of plays show up and have them consistently always be there whenever you're in that situation, then you're going to want a much shorter list, maybe to 30 plays only. But for me, is this a play I would potentially call in that scenario? Yes or no? If yes, then I want to have it in there. I'll rate the ones I like the best at the highest, and then I'll go down. I've done it before where I've tried to break it into groups of 5 per level, but sometimes that's, doesn't really make the most sense. Right now you can kind of just see some of the other plays that are in these formations as we're scrolling through. This is the first down, so this is going to be a lot of runs. It's going to be a lot of establishing the run. On first down, the goal in this offense is going to be to pick up yardage so that you are in a 2nd and 6 or less situation. Ideally, you don't want 2nd and 9. You don't want 2nd and 8. 2nd and 7 maybe. But 2nd and 6 is really where you want to be. So on first down, it's going to be a lot of consistent runs. It'll be some PA boots. It'll be, some jet touch passes. And a couple play action plays mixed in, but the majority of it is going to really be about the run game. And you're going to notice here I'm going to have almost every single jet play that's available. I'm going to have every duo play and several of the read options and screens. That's going to be a lot of what we're going to have here on first down scenarios. One feature they did give us, as you can see here on 2nd and long, is this looks a lot like some of the stuff we were seeing on the last one. We do have the option to copy and paste to different scenarios, and then you can tweak and adjust from there. So one approach I've had at times is adding everything I like to, as part of my base offense, to the first down, copying it over to every other scenario where I'm going to be kind of on schedule. So most of my 2nd downs, my 3rd and short, red zone maybe, and a few other scenarios. And I will then remove different plays from each list to make the list very similar, but kind of different. But in this one, it looks like I've literally just copied it to multiple different ones. Now on this short down, it is slightly different. On 2nd and short, it's a nice down for if you wanted to do a shot play, if you got a crazy trick play, this is the down to do it. So there's going to be a lot more of these jet sweeps. That's going to be just a safe time to run that when you're actually going to hand it off to the sweep on that down, because if it does get blown up, then at least you're still in a 3rd manageable. Speaking of 3rd down, we're on 3rd and long. It's, as you can see, we have these verticals with the out route. That's a pretty good play this year. It's a sail with 2 verticals really. We have some switch concepts and we have some Salem. Those are going to be the majority of what our passing game is and what Smash too. So those are probably the majority of our passing game. We have a couple shallow crosses in here, the slants play. This is kind of a Texas concept. So yeah, there was a drive smash and then verticals. So that's also going to be copied then over to our 4th and long, 3rd and medium, 4th and medium. For some reason, the Playbook tool is funky this year. They have a bunch of these duplicate extra scenarios at the end, and so I don't know. I've sent in a bug report on it, but we'll see if anything happens on that. Let's be clear, the whole system needs an overhaul. People ask me all the time, oh, you go through and rate these plays, so you use suggested plays. When I'm doing my play calling, I really like to have a variety of different options available to me. Sometimes I'll go through the formation menu, which is kind of classic Madden play calling style. Sometimes I'll go to the concept menu and I'll pull it up, what I'm looking for by concept. And then other times it's nice, like on a long down situation, just to be able to go and there are your long down plays. Often on first down, I unless there's a specific thing I'm trying to attack on the defense, I will like going to the suggestions, coming out in one of these plays that it is recommending to me, seeing how the defense is aligned, and then audibling into another formation and another play as needed to be able to attack what I need to attack. So in a lot of ways, these plays that are rated here are going to be the suggestions. You're going to come out in, and if it looks good, run it. But if it doesn't look good for some reason, check into the right play. Then when you're done with that play, you hit hold Y, you no huddle, you come back to the line of scrimmage, you then see how the defense is reacting, what were they in that last time, and start adjusting from there. Make a different audible to a different formation, and all these audibles are going to be working as your shifts and exchanges, trades, your motions, however you want to define it. It's going to have your players running from a tight end from the left to the right, a wide receiver from the right to the left, a slot receiver into the backfield, a halfback out into the flat. It's going to be all this. So definitely want to check it out. I have all these other playbooks also on Madden Share right now. You need to check them out if you're on Xbox. If you're not, then we will hopefully be able to get you more of these playbook showcase videos out so that you can recreate some of these playbooks on PS5. Anyways, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. Make sure you check out the Patreon, hit subscribe, like, all that stuff, comment down below, and tell me who your team is and what you think their record's going to be this year in the NFL. As well as what team do you have in CFM and what are your current struggles? I would love to hear what I can help you guys with moving forward. I love helping the community and helping you guys scheme.